what's up, YouTube? There's something I wanted to talk about, and I had to do a video about this because it's something that's been on my mind. There's a lot of things that's been on my mind, but I have to point this out. For many people who don't know, I'm actually a cosplayer. I do cosplay at conventions and stuff like that. I try to spread out to do it for more stuff because it actually is fun. Problem is, and I have to get this out, and this is a personal peeve that's been bugging me, is the fact that because I'm a cosplayer and I happen to be male, duh, if you haven't noticed from the facial hair on my face, I'm a male cosplayer. The problem I've been having is the fact that when it comes to cosplay, the majority of attention goes to female cosplayers. Now, this is not hating on female cosplayers. You know, I actually really love my female, my peers and superiors in the cosplay world. The females that have been doing it for a long time, you know, I look up to some of them because some of them are actually really good. I also look up to a lot of really great male cosplayers who does great stuff and should be more famous and get more attention than what they have been getting compared to the female counterparts. You see, the problem lies in media. Is that majority of the time with media, when they look at cosplay, they see that. Now, when you look at the way a lot of these media outlets and whatnot portray male cosplayers, they portray us like this. Now, that's not how all male cosplayers are portrayed. You have many of us who pretty much either look like what we're supposed to, the character we're supposed to do, or we do a really good job making original costumes and stuff like that. I could point out a few in the next few group of pictures, either that way, or this way. Doesn't matter. But in the next group of pictures, you'll see a few male cosplayers who are great, but don't get the attention that they should. Now, by no means am I sitting here bashing female cosplayers. What I'm actually bashing is the people who give the female cosplayers the majority of the attention. Now, I'm not sitting here being like sexist or anything like that. It's that I want equal attention for both sides. Like, there's many times where I've seen, well, it's not many times, there was one occasion where I saw for a convention, they added as a guest for the convention, as a media guest, a cosplayer who only was doing it for 2 years. And this cosplayer happened to have been female. That's the only reason. There is no way you'll find a male cosplayer that will get put up in the same attention and get added as a guest just by being in it for 2 years. No matter how good their costumes are. It really gets to a point where it does bother me. The worst part is actually Heroes of Cosplay. Now, with all due respect to Yaya, I don't hate the show. I don't hate her. I just hate the fact that male cosplayers are not evenly represented in Heroes of Cosplay. The fact that right now, like from the last season, you had 3 great male cosplayers. Now these guys were good, but it was only 3 compared to like 10 females. Now that's an over-exaggeration, but it's the fact that, you know, it's 3 males compared to more like being outnumbered by the female cast members on the show. Now, it's not being sexist or whatnot. I just want it to be equal. Because when people see that, they say, oh, cosplay is only a thing for female cosplayers. Or what a lot of really messed up thinking individuals be like, oh, cosplay's for hot chicks. No, it's not for hot chicks. It's not just a female thing, you know. It's just the fact that media outlets get put out there that put out their misrepresentation of what our hobby what our hobby is, and who's in it. Because they still has an old world mentality when it comes to nerds and whoever does cosplay. You know? And it goes down to several other things like a lot of female cosplayers have been mentioned as cosplay models. Now, if they do modeling as a profession, cool, that's awesome. But when it gets down to a part where, you know, you start referring to yourself as cosplay model instead of just cosplayer, you know, or just cosplayer / model, I don't know. But it gets to a point where it gets ridiculous, and a whole unevenness of it is just really ridiculous. And please don't take this as a negative thing, because by no means I'm not hating on female cosplayers. You know, I love female cosplayers, and I'm one of those few people that don't look at it as, oh, they're eye candy. No, it's not about that. A lot of them do really, really good work. And people talk junk about Yaya. Like, people talk a lot of junk about Yaya, but have you really looked at a lot of her costumes that she makes? Her costumes are the most complicated, like, stuff that you would ever seen somebody make. She actually, like, would take the time and put together complicated and complex pieces, costume pieces. And the majority of her costumes, she's fully, like, covered up. And it's, like, bulky, and she'll wear stuff like armor. It's another thing. It's the same thing with Vampy Bit Me. Vampy has made quite a few costumes that are complicated, complex, and bulky, like, covers her up. You know? So, people can sit there and try to say, like, oh, it's 'cause boobs or something like that. And no. When you get people like those 2 examples that I mentioned, when they do make something that's complex and, you know, it's like armor pieces everywhere, or like where they're really covered up, they don't see that. They want to see like this stuff when they, you know, wear something that's skimpy or something like that. When these are 2 examples of female cosplayers that don't necessarily have to do skimpy costumes. They get by because they're actually good. That they're actually good at what they do and what they make. The thing is that you have a few female cosplayers that unnecessarily want to make sexy cosplay, and it always makes me cringe every time I see that. Where they want to constantly do like sexy version of a character or something that doesn't necessarily need to be sexy, because it doesn't match how they are on, you know. It gets to a point where I just, after a while, every time I see that comes up, or every time a female cosplayer be like, oh, I'm gonna do a sexy version of this, I cringe. I say nothing, but I cringe. And this is not me hating on it. It's just, You can get by and do something that's complex and great, and you don't have to rely on doing sexy cosplay or sexy versions of stuff that don't need to be sexy. You can do complex costumes that's great. You have female cosplayers that rely on their own skill instead of TNA or their feminist charms or their feminine charms, or stuff like that. I don't know. That's the way I feel about it. The next group of cosplayers, male and female, that I want to see get famous because of their skill and not because of looks. And that's the thing that I always had to, put out there. And I'm going to show like 2 pictures of cosplays that I've done. Well, I actually have more, but I don't like to put up all of them. I can put up more, but yeah. There's ones that I've made myself, and there's actually only one that I have that I didn't make, but I did do the makeup on it. And I had to do the makeup because I couldn't get anyone else to do it for me. And no, it's not girly stuff. It was theater makeup to make myself look very different. I don't know how to explain that, but here are pictures of me in cosplay, several different ones. So enjoy it, and I'll try to post up another video next week.